Hello everybody, let's have a look at the rebalancing bot and the results that have come through after quite a long period of time, 65 days, so basically 2 months worth of these being on. Now, I did set these up pretty much on a whim as an experiment, right? So I put $1,000 into both of these rebalancing bots, and I thought about this one appropriately. So, you know, if I was to only set one up, this is how I would generally do it. Slow and steady wins the race, diversified to a large extent in different areas. So we've got Bitcoin being obviously Bitcoin, you know, Ethereum being, you know, the biggest and most boring of all altcoins, and then we got 1 inch, which I suppose is, you know, one of the front runners from the major dexes, and we got XLM, which is, you know, a CBDC contender. So diversified within the rebalancing bot. So what this bot does is you can either do 2 alts or two tokens, 2 coins, or you can do 4. And what it does is I've set mine to have 25% of my portfolio balance, so that would be originally the $1,000, which is now obviously more than that. It's just short of $1,300. 25% of that dollar amount, or the tether amount, invested in each one of these at any one time. I think I set this to rebalance every 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes it has a reshuffle. And so let's just think about what's happened here. So we started this bot with this kind of balance. Bitcoin 5297, we've now got 4894. So more Bitcoin has been sold. We started 1 inch with 78, and now we've got 73, so 1 inch has been sold. Ethereum 7713, that's what it is now, and we've got 7756, so we've got less of those now. And XLM, we've got 816 now, and we started with 641, so 641. So what seems to have happened here, well, what has happened here is that since starting this bot, everything apart from XLM has had a decent move. XLM is the lagger, and what's been going on is every time these go up, portions of it get sold and they get put into XLM, because XLM is the one that they're supporting. They're saying, come on XLM, you could, because obviously I've given my bots personalities, you know, it's obviously how you're supposed to have a bot. Unless it's got character, there's no point, obviously. But yeah, what they've been doing is each time they're in profit, they sell portions, and then they put it into the one that's lagging behind, which is XLM. Each one of these coins here has topped up XLM throughout this 2-month period, and XLM is the one that we're all looking at going, come on, pull your weight, you can do it. And when XLM finally moves, it will give back. It'll say, thanks guys, here's a bit of profit, I'll give it back to whoever's lagging behind the most. And so in that respect, like, it's a good idea for a bot. I don't know any other services that provide this kind of bot, and as much as I wanted to, you know, it's been out for a little while now, I've not set one up, and I thought the only way for me to really learn from a bot is to actually see it in practice. You can read about it, and I understood it, but without actually seeing it in practice, you know, this is the best way to learn. So I've done the experiment for you. Now, obviously, me experimenting, I wanted to see how, obviously this is the thoughtful bot, the one that included me thinking about how I was going to, how the best way to run it. And again, a diversified, modest portfolio of coins within one bot. I went to the opposite end of the extreme. I went for the pump and dump ones. I said, all right, these guys, they all can pump and they all can dump. I know how these charts can behave, which is irrational and huge. They go all the way up and all the way back down again. It'll be interesting to see how that one works out. So far, it's not worked out very well. It's basically breaking even at the moment. At the moment, it's been significantly underwater, but we have been through a bit of a nasty time over the last, the last month at least, September. And so far, it's basically breaking even. It doesn't mean that this one can't outperform this one in the long term. It probably will at some point, start to outperform this one. But slow and steady certainly wins the race, and that's always the way I like to trade. But I couldn't help myself but try the opposite ends of the extreme, because obviously this is all an experiment. I just wanted to see how it actually how it actually worked. So we can have a look at the balance change on this one, which I imagined would be relatively extreme. So we started off here with 38 nano. We've now got more of those. We started off here with 756 Doge. We've now got more of those. We had 185 PNT. We've got more of those. And Key is the one that's obviously done the pump and dump, and we've got a lot less of those. So Key is the only one so far that's done one of those pump and dumps, and it's propped up all the others to quite a large extent, to be honest with you. So it could work out. Like I say, Key has obviously done a massive pump, and it's the only one that's really come through for this team. So this team is lagging, but they all have the potential in here to actually do these big pumps and dumps, but so far it's only Key that's done it. But so far, like I say, at least it's almost break even. But realistically, you should think about what coins is it that you want to hodl, and if you're not actively trading them and you're looking to hodl, the best thing is to hodl things that should retain value, and that's why this one's worked out okay. These don't often retain value. These pump and they dump, which basically means that ultimately the bot is not going to do as well as coins which incrementally go up, sustain. They pump and they correct, but they don't pump and dump. So yeah, slow and steady wins the race. A modest, balanced portfolio of coins that should hopefully retain their value with every incremental step up, whereas these ones, I suppose, that in the end ultimately destined to fail. Not to say that this bot can't one day outperform this one, but over the longer term, I think this one is almost certainly going to do better because of the very nature of the coins that are included within this rebalancing bot. So I'll just run through how I set this one up, and if you want to see how I did it, you can do it on the app, or you can do it on the desktop platform here. And if you want to set an account up with Pionex, they've recently become a sponsor to my channel, so I've got a decent link now where you can get 20% back off all your trading fees for life, basically. So you set up with the link in the description of this channel, and yeah, it's worth having that if you're looking to use trading bots, because you can see that there's a lot of transactions that take place here. 920 on this one, 187 on this one, and even though Pinex's fees are, I think they're the lowest, they're one of the lowest, if not the lowest, you still want to get a kickback. So what happens is you pay your trading fee, and then 20% of that trading fee goes back to you and ends up back in your account. So it's all savings, and always it just comes back to you in the end. And it's worth doing because, like I say, you do lots of transactions, even though the transaction fees are minimal. It's always worth getting some back, and it all adds up over time. Right, thanks for watching. I'll just leave the latter part of the video of how I set these things up, but if you're not bothered about watching that, no big deal. It's pretty intuitive. I'm sure you'll be able to work it out. So to set up one of these bots, we go to trade, brings you through to this area. These are all the different types of bots. I mean, like I say, there's tons of them now, but the rebalancing bot is one of the first three here. So we'll go to create one of these bots. You can do 2 tokens together, or you can do a multi-coin mode where you can basically have 4. That's the one I'm going to go for. I'm going to create 2 of these, and I'm going to try and be a little bit clever. It is an experiment at the end of the day. I want to see how it works out. And the first one I'm going to create is I'm going to try and think of 4 coins that have a tendency to move independently of each other, and this bot, if you try and imagine what this bot is doing, is that you're making a team. You're making a team of altcoins and Bitcoin. I'm going to use Bitcoin, Ethereum, 1 inch I'm going to use as well, and I think the next one after that will be XLM. Each of these have a tendency to essentially be decoupled from each other. They move more or less independently of each other. They don't trend as one. Basically, they have their own vibes going on, whether it's fundamentals or charts. They trend as separately, but they're working together as a team, if you think about it like that. So this is the best way to try and think about what this bot is actually doing. So when you go to start the bot, this is how if you imagine this is your portfolio, forget about what else is in your account, just think about this as your bot's portfolio, this specific bot's portfolio. It's balanced automatically at 25% each, so all these coins will be, the idea is that the bot will keep the portfolio amount of each proportion at 25%. So if Bitcoin decides to make a move today and these 3 are left behind, Bitcoin will be making me some profit. Obviously the amount of Bitcoin I'll have will be being sold on the way up, and then it will be rebalanced as it comes back down, ending up at 25%. And basically the way that my portfolio should always be, more or less, is 25% of each. Now let's just say tomorrow 1 inch decides to go up. 1 inch goes up, gets sold on the way up, making profit, and then the bot rebalances. So my portfolio will always be 25% of each of these, and the profit will be taken bit by bit when each one of these ones move. So think about this as like a team. All right, this is my team. Team 1, I'm going to call it Team 1. Crypto Team 1, and the reason I've picked these 3 coins is, I've not made I've not studied it massively, but as a trader I do recognize that these 4 often trend slightly separate from each other, and so this is going to be my first bot. You have to have a minimum of $400, so $100 in each one of these to set this bot up, so that's something to recognize. And again, this is an experiment. We are going to revisit this in maybe a week or 2 to see how it's gone. And at the moment the market does appear to be relatively healthy. I know that I should really be setting anything up just like you would do anything, at supports or when there's a dump, and so I am prepared to see this go down before it goes back up again. This isn't the perfect time to set anything up, but now's as good a time as any, I suppose, because the idea is that this is going to be a crypto team 1 basically is supposed to be a hodl position, and if you think about the bot as a hodl position, you're not really looking to make quick trades with a hodl position. This bot in theory should be held for as long as it takes for each one of these to reach their overall targets, or the market in general to reach its peak. So that's one way to try and think about what you're doing here. You're creating a portfolio in the form of a bot which will remain at 25% of each of these in your portfolio, and it's not designed to make quick money. It's designed to take profits and rebalance your portfolio. So that said, I'm going to put in to this one, I'm going to go a little hard. I'm just going to go in for $1,000 on this one. So and I'm going to create the bot. And you've got to wish me luck on this one, because again, I know that this isn't the perfect time to set up the bot, but I'm going to do it anyway. So that's this one. Investment 1,000. This is the 25% of each. Again, these could be altered if I wanted to, but I just want to keep everything equal. It's just easier to keep track of, and I'm going to confirm that bot. And that bot should basically, what it'll do is it'll set these, it'll be buying at market price. Bot will be created, I suppose, within a few seconds. Once the market orders have been filled, there you go. So all set up. Today's profit 0. That is obviously not that's I suppose not to be thought of too hard. Let's have a look at the details of what's going on first of all. So at the moment, automatically down. That's usually a pretty standard practice for anyone who ever makes a trade. Never expect to go up straight away. And again, I said this isn't the perfect time to set this up, but we'll see how this one goes over the next few weeks. And the thing to focus on is the overall profit of all of these 4, Team 1, Crypto Team 1. And that's that. So I'm going to set up another one now, and I'm going to do it on my phone to show you how to do it on your phone. Right, so this is my Pionex app, and we're going to go to trade at the bottom here, and it brings up all the different types of bots that you want, but we're going to go for the rebalancing bot, go for the multi-coin mode, which is just like what we've seen on the previous, on the desktop app. Now it brings up an index pool here to start with, and that's basically all pretty much preset indexes. So there's a copy trade facility on here, and there's also different, I suppose, groups that you could put in that are automatically set for you with back-tested results. That's not for me. I like to be in control, so I will go to the customize one, and I want to add my coins. Now, like I said, I've already got Crypto Team 1. I'm going to go for Crypto Team 2. Is going to be a bit more aggressive. I'm picking coins which are way more volatile than the first one. The first one I've thought out, and I suppose is a bit of a safer bet, whereas this one is going to be much less the case. I'm going to go for things which are known to move aggressively up and down, so it's going to be a bit more, I suppose, way more, in fact, risky. But again, it's all for the sake of the experiment. We want to see how it goes. So what I'll do is I'll show you. I mean, you can pick any of these ones down here. The list is not enormous, so without boring you to death, I am just going to select these, and then I'll pause the video and I'll show you which ones I've selected, and then we'll start the bot. Right, so I've selected the 4 coins in Crypto Team B. So
you can see that they're a lot more lower cap, apart from Doji, I suppose. That they're lower cap coins which I would expect more volatility from these, and I suppose over time bigger gains, I suppose. So more risk, more reward, but obviously more risk. I'm going to be subject to the market. I'm choosing 4 coins here to hodl, basically. That's going to be rebalanced. So how much am I going to put into this one? Well, it's the same as the other one. Again, you've got to make it an even race. $1,000 a piece, and we are going to create the bot, and it's pretty much that simple, really. It's exactly the same process, but just using the app. Like I say, I do use the app more than I use the desktop version of Pionex, and so I suppose for the sake of this video, it made sense to show you it on the app.
Right, so there you have it. That's how I set the rebalancing bots up, and in all fairness, I believe the bull run is going to continue. So I'm just going to continue holding these two bots and see how it plays out between now and towards the end of the year, maybe into next year. Just like I say, an experiment that I do expect to make profit out of anyway. But I hold more weight on the thoughtful, modest bot than I do on the pump and dump bot. But it's completely your call. If you want to set one of these up, I would suggest have a think about what coins you believe not just pump, but pump and keep their gains. Because if they pump and dump, I suppose ultimately they are designed to fail, because they're only as strong as their weakest coin, really. So it'll be interesting to see how these ones play out. Anyway, thanks for watching. You made it to the end. Congratulations. Links in the description. Join the Telegram if you want to know more, or if you've got questions about Pionex or just anything in general. And if you want to take it one step further, there's a Patreon channel, and we do 2 live streams a week where we basically go through chart after chart after chart. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take it easy.